Welcome to the HomeKit 5 podcast. We talk every week about the latest news in the Apple ecosystem for smart homes. I'm your host, Josh Owens, along with my co-host, Brayden Owens. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the HomeKit 5 podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Brayden.
And this week we're going to talk about 3 stories: the Sonos situation, I'm sure you've heard about that, the Ikea gateway updates, and Onelink has added AirPlay 2 support. First off, I just want to say, if you've listened before, thanks for listening again. We really appreciate that. If you're a first-time listener here, this show is all about the Apple ecosystem and HomeKit and how you get all that to work together and all the news that happens week to week around that. So let's dive into this week. You want to take the first one?
Yeah, sure. I will do the Sonos situation.
Yeah.
So basically Sonos has announced that they are going to, in May, drop support for all of their older devices, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was kind of a big to-do because when they first announced it, they basically came out and said it was like very early hardware, but they decided that they were going to end-of-life support for it, which meant it would still work, but it wouldn't be getting any more updates. And I think a lot of people felt a little upset by that, but then on top of that, it got worse because they said basically if you left these products on your Sonos network, essentially, you wouldn't be able to upgrade your other devices. So, that seemed very problematic to me. We've probably invested, I want to say somewhere on the order of like $800 to $900 in Sonos speakers. We've got like one sitting over here in the office, a Play 5, and 2 in our master bedroom, and then each of the girls have one in their rooms. I think that's all we have. And we bought the 2 in the girls' rooms. They're older. They don't have the AirPlay 2 support. But, that it gets me thinking, like, oh, man, like, with the AirPlay 2 support, I'm not sure I care because I can just, like, AirPlay to it. And as long as AirPlay 2 works, that's pretty easy for me to do most things that I need, right? Like, I can have this TV behind me, like, project to that speaker, and I can watch TV while listening on that speaker if I want to. Like, that all works fine. So as long as AirPlay 2 continues to be supported, I think I'm mostly okay. But like the 2 in the girls' bedrooms are older, not old enough. They'll still get these updates, but they are older and don't support AirPlay 2. So it's like, is that going to be a problem? I don't know. And like basically their email almost felt salesy, like their initial announcement, like, oh, by the way, we're going to end of life this stuff. And if you have it on your network, you won't be able to upgrade. And so, we'll give you a 30% off discount. Like, what? I've dropped how much money and you want me to spend more? Oh my gosh, that seems crazy. Like, I would rather invest in other places in my smart home at this point than that. But I mean, I have bought some stuff, so that's probably a privileged place to be to say that. We'll have a link in the show notes to the letter from the CEO. They came out and they said, hey, we're going to try to figure out how to be able to split off so that the older stuff can still be on your network, but the newer stuff can get newer features. And honestly, I don't even know what features I use. I'm mostly we're a Spotify family, and we connect these in, and they just become available as Spotify speakers that we can stream to. Including the ones that don't have AirPlay, or if we're not in Spotify and we're wanting YouTube or something, we just tell our devices to AirPlay.
Yeah.
So it's I don't even know what features I would be missing necessarily. My worry would be iOS 14 comes out, something breaks, and then it won't work with iOS 14 for some reason. But they've committed, they'll now split off into 2 networks, so you can keep the older stuff there. It'll still work. They're not breaking any of it. And you'll be able to get updates to the newer devices without any problem. That's their commitment. And they said they'll also still put bug fixes and security patches out for the old stuff. So seem like a better resolution. It just took them most of the week to get there, I think. And there was a lot of anger on like Twitter, Reddit, like all those places. I was watching this story unfold, and it was like, oof, this is rough. So, any other thoughts there?
No, I'm just glad that they're kind of going to still at least release updates for the older devices and stuff, like how Apple is with their older devices. So they still produce security patches and bug fixes.
Yeah, if it's bad enough, yeah, they definitely will. All right. Do you guys have any Sonos speakers in your mom's house?
We do not.
No.
No.
Good talk. All right. IKEA Gateway. So we talked about this last week. We're gonna talk about it again this week. The 1.10.29 update came out. I don't know what happened. My gateway is totally borked. So I was at IKEA today, and I picked up a little light down here. We use as a little backlight on the wall to kind of separate us from the wall. If you're watching on YouTube, and I picked up all the IKEA stuff, and I went ahead and grabbed another gateway, and we got it hooked up right before the show, and it seems to be working now. But
yes,
the old gateway is just like, it just feels like it's totally bricked, and I only had the thing for a month, so that was a little disappointing. But I'll continue to troubleshoot that with IKEA. But they did release 1.10.29. This one I got today, installed, updated. Everything seems to be going great. I still got to hook it back up into HomeKit, but so far so good. One guy on Reddit, that's where we first noticed this news, was on a Reddit thread in the HomeKit forum. Actually, it was posted in the Tradfri. Is that how you say that?
I think so.
Tradfri.
Tradfri.
I don't know. I'm not Swedish, and I butcher every name ever. But someone even mentioned that their stuff gets updated one by one. So it's like the firmware goes on the hub, and then like each device starts to get an update. And he said his kids were woken up by lights just turning on in the bedroom. That sounds terrible. Yeah, so I don't know. But it does feel like everyone's saying that they're getting the update now. This is supposed to be the one that's fixing, the problems that were caused by the last update. So I don't know. I think we're getting to a good place here with IKEA. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
And just a mental note, don't put Tradfri light bulbs in your sleeping rooms, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing any other kind of like, oh, there's another one. Lights turning on suddenly. Sometimes, interesting. There might be some other firmware problem going on here. We'll see. We'll, that guy's done. Anyway, let's move on to the next story.
Okay. So, Onelink, they have a like smoke detector. Is that what that is?
Smoke and carbon monoxide detector, yeah.
And so they added AirPlay 2 support to it, which I find that odd because it's a smoke detector. Why do you need AirPlay 2 support for it?
Well, so the Onelink comes with Alexa support too, and so you can essentially use it as like an Echo on your ceiling.
This is still weird.
Please do install more Amazon microphones everywhere you can. Jeff Bezos very much appreciates it. But I think it's kind of cool because if you think about it, like you do put these smoke detectors in central places, and I think because they're kind of playing it up as a more advanced kind of thing that you can install, like a more advanced speaker that you can install, they wanted to give AirPlay 2 access to it so you can use it as a speaker, right? So like for us, we tend to use AirPlay 2 most when we're like cleaning the house, when we want to put some music on, and like everyone's working in different places, so we just like, boom, 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 go through and like select all the AirPlay 2 devices and play, like, so as you're moving around, you just hear that same music everywhere.
Yeah.
which is kind of nice. And so that would be cool, I guess. This would be a speaker in the hallway where I would not add a speaker necessarily. My question is with this one, well, I guess number one, I should say, it requires you to have a hardwire
Yes.
kind of set up, like a smoke detector hardwiring. And generally, it does work with other smoke detectors that are hardwired too, so it'll like set those off if you want. Um, but it requires that hard wiring, and then like once you have that, then you can use this. So the other thing is like, can I use this without Alexa? Can I like turn the Alexa feature off? That's always my question when I see these things. Like I went for the Ecobee 3 Lite just because like I didn't want Alexa in my smart thermostat. So like people should let us know if that's a thing that can be turned off. So if you do have one link, let us know. I'm kind of curious now.
Yeah.
Leave it in the YouTube comments or oh, I guess we have a feature on Anchor where you can like send us a
Voice message.
voicemail. Yeah. So if you want to send us a comment, we'll always be willing to play those. Yeah, so that was all the HomeKit news this week. It was kind of a light week this week.
Definitely was.
Yeah. So we thought what we would do real quick is just talk about the Eufy Cam. The video, we'll be putting a video up on Wednesday that kind of goes through the setup and kind of our, I don't know, like a lightweight review. That'll be on YouTube. But, we want to just give our thoughts here as well before that video goes up and what we think of it. We did try to do the Logitech wireless circle cam before we did the Eufy Cam, and I just had a terrible experience with that thing trying to set it up. Like I got it set up once, and then it like updated the firmware, and then it stopped working again, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. This is terrible. So yeah, I don't know. I ended up returning that thing to Amazon, and then we ordered the Eufy Cam, and that came, and that was super super simple to set up. You were here for some of it. Like, what'd you think?
That was really simple. Like, we just popped it on there, turned it on, and then it just was connecting and stuff, and it was just right there.
Yeah. So when you buy the Eufy Cam 2, it comes with two cameras and the home base. Well, I've got the home base actually sitting right up here. I may play around with like moving it around the house to see if we can get a better spot. That'll get a little better networking rate for like when you open the app, it shows kind of streaming connection you have to it. Let me see if I can.
And it also provides the batteries, because they are rechargeable and like are not, they're completely wireless, so you have to take them in once in a while and just plug them in.
Yeah. But we got the garage one fully charged before we took it out there, and it says it's still a full battery after like 3 weeks. The one on the front door, I didn't quite charge it all the way up, but it's still, it's like 1 bar down, and it's been pretty solid as well. Yeah, this one, let's see if I say play, it makes a live stream, and then it gives you somewhere on here. I thought it gave you like a rate. No, I'm not seeing it. Huh. Well, anyway, it will give you like a network rate to kind of tell you how well you're getting a connection back to the home base. And it's got like hold and speak, so you can do two-way communication. That's a little delayed. I think you were having trouble hearing me when we were testing that out.
Yes.
Oh, there it goes. There, you can see it's like 22K. That's not very good. No. So if I go look at the garage one, let me stream that one. These are both on the front of the house right now. Yeah, we're getting like 200, 150K, somewhere in that range.
Which makes sense because
it's closer to the home base.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thought was maybe we move that up to the bedroom or something, and between the glass like window and like we could plug it into the wired network up there. Like that might be more helpful. I don't know. We were gonna play around with it, but very easy to set up in a HomeKit. Like we just went in and it's got like, if you go into the home base 2 set up, you can then say like add to HomeKit, and it like just plops it over to HomeKit. It asks for access and like puts it in there for you. You don't even have to do any kind of pairing or anything. And then the pairing was simple too. Like you just have to be near the home base and like start the pairing, and it uses the speaker, and so there's like some noise that plays, and that like gets picked up by the camera and then syncs, and then it's like a camera that you can start using with the home base. And then we just use the magnetic, it's got a super strong magnet in it. We just mounted the magnet to the wall. It's just one screw, a little connection base, and then like you clip over it and then just suctions onto that magnet. It was like, I feel like it took me maybe 20 minutes in all to get both of the magnet bases installed, and then we charged them and then put them up, and it's been very, very easy. They have like activity zones you can set to kind of know when it triggers, and you can like add multiple activity zones. So if you have like different areas you kind of want to watch, I've got like on the garage, it's got like 2 zones. So it doesn't pick up like the sidewalk, people walking by. I don't want to be notified about that, but it is kind of nice to have. Since we've added it, I get notifications on my phone, and I can see when deliveries show up, or like when the kids come home, or like we were out today and I got a notification that someone was on the front porch, and I was able to watch the video and just saw like, oh hey, it was my daughter taking the trash out. So it was kind of nice.
Yeah. I liked that I went through there and it had an event history. So like all the events from the different days, it just like showed you little video clips.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. And it tries to detect the face out of it too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, like
kind
the
of
little
creepy.
faces.
Yeah,
it's like
it's got like a little icon of the face that they were able to snip out of the video.
they're like totally not paying attention to the camera at all, so it's like just a random face.
Yeah, we laughed about it because Wendy was coming home one day, and she just like, the picture it took was like super angry face. And she's like, I don't think I was angry, it just, I don't know, just that's when it got the clip. So funny stuff. And the other thing I think that's key to note is, I don't know that I feel super excited or like it's super necessary for HomeKit secure video right now, because I don't, it's storing on device here on the home base too, so it's not going to a cloud somewhere. There's no fee for that, right? So it's just like you buy the camera kit and that's your one-time payment. That's it. There's no, like, I don't have to pay $16 a month like the Arlo people are getting upset about. It just, this has 16 gigabytes, which seems like plenty.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of clips on there, and we still have a ton of space. I'm kind of curious now.
How much? I think
video storage. We've used half a gigabyte in total storage, or in clip storage right now. So there's
over
like
22 days. So they're pretty small. 392 motion has been detected.
We have protect you 22 days. Yeah, so that was 392 recordings at half a gigabyte. So I don't know. And there's a very easy, like, you can format or clear the storage. So, and then you can hook it up if you need additional storage. You can hook it up to like, what do you call that thing?
External drive.
Not just an external drive, a NAS. You can hook it up to a network attached storage, and it supports like real-time streaming protocol, RTSP. So yeah, I don't know. Like I've been very, very happy with it so far. Yeah, I don't know. You don't use it day to day, but
I don't.
And then the other thing is you can like turn on an alarm. So since it is magnetic, people could just come gank it, but there's a movement alarm, and so if it's moved at all, it would start blaring off an alarm, and it would alert me on my phone. Yeah, so, and you can go, I think the kit was like, I don't even remember now, but I know you can get, I'm pretty sure, an add-on camera for like $99, I want to say. So we got the 2, not the 2C. It's just got bigger batteries, essentially. It's $350. I think I actually got it on sale for $299 right after Christmas. And then the add-on camera right now is $149. It was just on sale. So if you are looking, maybe try to watch for a sale because it is a little expensive, but they claim it's supposed to have 365-day charge on it, but it's just USB-C on the back. So anyway, that's our show today. Thanks for listening. You got anything else?
I really do not.
No? Okay. And if you are enjoying this show, big help to us. One, go to the Anchor website. We still haven't gotten like a full website up yet, but go to the Anchor website, click on the links, use those Amazon links when you go buy stuff, and that helps support the show. It's no cost to you, and we get a little bit of kickback off those links when you do buy something. Someone did buy something, so thanks. And we also appreciate reviews on iTunes. It's just, what's it called now? Just music?
Podcast.
Oh, podcast. This shows how often I use Overcast. We are on Spotify, and you can find us on Overcast and all that kind of stuff. I guess we should start paying attention since we're asking for reviews to see if people are reviewing us.
Yes.
We did have a little snafu with the last episode. We use Anchor, and like we were using episodes and seasons, and it wasn't like in the season. I forgot to put that in when I uploaded it. Oh, here you go. Someone on Thursday did leave us a review. The audio could use a bit of work. Hopefully it sounds better this week. We did put a lot of effort into it, and we're trying to get better every week. So thank you, Stenio7. Appreciate the review. All right. See you guys next week.